Hello students, welcome to Sitaram IAS online tutorial. So in this video, I'm going to cover all economics related current affairs from January 2023 to March 2023. So let's start. The first topic is World Trade Organization's new agreement on fisheries subsidy. So this agreement prohibits illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, and it prohibits subsidies on overfished stocks, and it prohibits subsidies on fishing in areas outside the jurisdiction of the coastal members and non-members. So for this agreement to come into force, 2/3 of World Trade Organization members have to accept it. Switzerland has become the first World Trade Organization member to accept this agreement on the fisheries subsidies. Coming to India, India is the third largest producer and the fourth largest exporter of the fish, and inland fisheries are fully managed by the state governments and marine fisheries are managed by the central government, and the coastal state government also will manage this marine fisheries. And India is the second largest aquaculture nation in the world. Coming to the next topic, inequality in India. So Oxfam India has released the Survival of the Richest, the India Story report, and as per the report, 1% increase in the food inflation leads to 0.5% rise in the undernourishment and 0.3% of the rise in infant and child mortality rates. And the richest 1% own 40% of the country's wealth, and only 19% of the women and 60% of men are in regular salaried jobs, and indirect nature of GST and fuel taxes is making more burden on the most marginalized people as per these reports. And it also stated that India is not only one of the growing economies in the world but also one of the most unequal countries. So other important topics is the Gini coefficient. So the degree of income inequality is measured through the Gini coefficient, and the other one is Lorentz curve. So the distribution of inequality in economy is represented by this Lorentz curve. Next topic is scheme for financial support to digital payments. So RuPay debit cards and low value BHIM, that is BIM UPI transactions are incentivized and promoted under this scheme. So UPI is Unified Payment Interface, which is a real-time payment system launched in 2016, and using this UPI different payment systems arrived like Bharat Interface for Money, that is BIM, UPI Lite to transfer amount between 200 to 2000, and UPI 1234 Pay with 5000 rupees limit. So these were some of the real-time payment systems. The next topic is state finances. So RBI published State Finances, a study of budget of 2022 to 23 with the theme called The Capital Formation in India, the Role of the States. So the important terms that we have to learn in this topic here is fiscal deficit. So fiscal deficit is the difference between the total revenue or borrowing and total expenditure or spending. Okay, in simple terms we can tell that fiscal deficit is a difference between borrowing and spending. Okay, so when government spends money by borrowing, that situation is called fiscal deficit. And the next important topic is revenue deficit. Revenue deficit is, so before knowing this term we need to have an idea about capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Okay, so capital expenditure is the money spent by the government to acquire assets. Okay, and revenue expenditure is the money spent by the government to maintain the daily administration. Okay, so here the revenue receipts means the money received by the government in its daily operations. Okay, and revenue deficit means the difference between revenue receipts and total revenue expenditure. Okay, so GDP here, GDP means gross domestic product. It is the sum of all final goods and services in India. And debt to GDP ratio, debt to GDP ratio is the ratio of the country's debt to its GDP. Okay, so revenue receipts means the money received by the government or earned by the government in its day-to-day activities, and as per the annual report, there is 14.9% of GDP of aggregate revenue receipts with the state and union governments, and aggregate expenditure is 18.5% of GDP, and in that aggregate expenditure, 83% was revenue expenditure and 17% was capital expenditure as per this reports. And another important term here is the gross fiscal deficit or the GFT. Okay, so the gross fiscal deficit is the excess of the total expenditure including loans over the revenue receipts and non-debt capital receipts. So in simple terms, when the total expenditure is more than the total earning, it is called gross fiscal deficit. Okay, so GFD or gross fiscal deficit in 2020 to 21 decreased from 4.1% to 3.4% in 2022 to 23 due to high revenue collections. And another important term to learn here is the tax amnesty. So tax amnesty is a limited offer given by the government to the taxpayers to pay a defined amount for reduction or concession in the total tax. The next topic is microfinance sector. So microfinance sector is a form of financial service which provides small loans and other financial services to the poor and low income households. So a study from Prince Waterhouse Coopers and Association of Microfinance Institutions of India has highlighted the leading role of microfinance institutions. So some initiatives taken by the government to improve the microfinance sector in India are yes, so those initiatives are India Microfinance Equity Fund, Micro Units Development Finance Agency, and E-Shakti project. The next topic is insolvency and bankruptcy code. So insolvency is a situation where the companies or individuals are not able to pay back the debts, and bankruptcy is a legal proceedings when a person is unable to pay back the debt. So due to low recovery rates, cross border insolvency, etc., many banks are not able to collect the given loans back. So, to strengthen the functioning of the banks and take back the debt amount, Ministry of Corporate Affairs has proposed insolvency and bankruptcy code. The next topic is loan loss provisions. So to manage the losses of banks, they use loss provisions like internal insurance fund, financial system stability, assessment of financial health of the banks, etc. So this is about loan loss provisions. Next is securitization of stressed assets framework. So to solve the banks issues regarding taking back the debts amount from the people who took loans and who are not paying, and other security issues regarding loans, a special branch is set up by banks called the special purpose entity. So this body solves the issues regarding loans, etc., and it is called securitization of stressed assets framework. The next topic is inland waterways in India. So there are 13 national waterways in India. The longest waterway is Ganga Bhagirathi Hooghly waterway, followed by Brahmaputra river, and the smallest waterway is the Sundarbans waterway. Okay, total there are 13 national waterways in operation in India. The next topic is technical textiles. So technical textiles are those textiles that are used for the automotive applications, medical textiles, geotextiles, agro textiles, and protective clothing. So National Technical Textile Mission was launched by the Ministry of Textiles to make India as a global leader in the technical textiles and increase them in the domestic market. The next topic is Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act 2002. So, multi-state cooperative societies are those are the cooperative societies whose activities are not confined to one state. So, it serves the interests of the individuals as well as one or more states. Okay, so recently the cabinet has approved 3 national level multi-state cooperative societies under this Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act of 2002. The next topic is Global Economic Prospective Report by the World Bank. So, this report specially focuses on emerging markets and developing economies, and it is released twice a year. The next topic is World Economic Situation and Prospects 2023 report. So, it is released by the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. The next topic is World Economic Forum releases Global Risk Report of 2023. So, it is published based on 5 categories. They are economic, environmental, geopolitical, societal, and technological categories. So, as per the report, the top 5 risks of India are digital inequality, geopolitical contest for resources, cost of living crisis, debt crisis, national disasters, and extreme weather events. The next topic is sovereign green bonds. So, the green bonds that are issued by any sovereign company or financial institute or intergovernmental group with the aim for utilizing for environmentally sustainable projects are called the sovereign green bonds. The next topic is domestic systematically important banks. So these are the banks that are interconnected with every region of the country, and its failure can impact the whole of the financial system in the country. So these are called the domestic systematically important banks. So they are too big to fail. So SBI, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank are the DSIBs. The next topic is Utkarsh 2.0. So it is a medium term strategy to improve RBI performance, strengthen trust, improve transparency, accountability, and improve innovative, dynamic, and skilled human resource. So the time period of Utkarsh 2.0 is from 2023 to 25. The next topic is T plus 1 settlement. So T plus 1 settlement or trade plus 1 settlement is the trade related settlements. So it will happen within 24 hours of the completion of the transaction. So after China, India has become the second country in the world to start trade plus 1 settlement cycle. The next topic is World Employment and Social Outlook Trends 2023 report. So it is released annually by the International Labour Organization, and as per the report, only 1% of 2023, only 1% in the year 2023 global employment growth will take place, and 5.8% growth of global unemployment will take place in 2023. So there will be a rise in 1% employment and 5.8% of unemployment in the in the year 2023. And the next finding is the labor force participation rate of men is 72.3% and women is 47.4% in 2022. Africa and Arab states will witness employment growth rate around 3% or more and decline in the unemployment rate in 2023. The next topic is Prajwala Challenge. So it is launched to invite ideas, solutions and actions that can transform rural economy. So it was launched by the Ministry of Rural Development. The next topic is National Single Window System for Vehicle Scrapping. So it is a policy which aims to phase out the unfit and polluting vehicles in an eco-friendly manner. So it was created by the Department of Promotion of Industries and International Trade and Internal Trade. The next topic is Broadcasting Infrastructure and Network Development Scheme. So it is a central sector scheme to modernize the public broadcaster, that is Prasara Bharati or All India Radio and Doordarshan. Next topic is regulatory framework on ESG norms. So ESG means environment, social and governance. So SEBI, that is the Securities and Exchange Board of India, has issued guidelines for the ESG norms. So this ESG framework help the organizations to encourage businesses to adopt sustainable practices, promote social inclusion and welfare, uplift productivity and reduce cost, environmental benefits, and gets awareness to climate change issues. So it is about the SEBI has issued a framework on ESG norms. The next topic is municipal bonds. So, municipal bonds are the debt instruments issued by the local governments to finance for the projects like socio-economic development through building bridges, schools, hospitals, etc. So, National Stock Exchange has introduced the country's first ever municipal bonds index to track the performance of the municipal bonds. So there are two types of municipal bonds. One is general obligation bond that do not make profits, and the other one is revenue bonds that make profits. Next topic is social stock exchange. So it is a separate branch of the stock exchange. It can help social enterprise to raise funds from public through the stock exchange mechanism. So SEBI has approved to launch the social stock exchange. Another important term to remember here is zero coupon, zero principal instrument. So it is a debt bond that do not have any interest rate after the completion of the maturity period also. So the investors can use this to fund specified social welfare projects and indicate the same in their balance sheet as assets. The next topic is self help groups. So, self help groups are the small informal groups of 10 to 20 people who come together to address their common problems. So, they come together and manufacture different types of products based on regions. So, to promote help group products, National Rural Livelihood Mission and State Rural Livelihood Mission have taken several steps through Saras Gallery, state specific retail outlets, e commerce platforms like GEM, Flipkart, Amazon. The next topic is farm mechanization. So, farm mechanization means development and use of machines that can take the place of humans and animal power in agricultural processes. So, National Council of Applied Economic Research released a report on making India a global powerhouse on farm machinery industry. So, as per the report, mechanization in India is marked by the tractorization. So, India's farm equipment market is 7% of the global market, and in that, 80% of it is the tractor contribution. So, the report has insisted to focus on the non-tractor machinery development. So, some schemes in India that promote farm mechanization are Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, National Food Security Mission, Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, National Mission on Oil Seeds and Oil Palm. The next topic is Mahila Samman Saving Certificate. So many people make savings through government schemes. So through the saving schemes, the government provide a safety net for vulnerable sections of the society. So in Mahila Samman Saving Certificate scheme, women and girl children can save their amount up to a maximum of 2 lakhs for the 2-year period, that is from April 2023 to March 2025, and even partial withdrawal can be done with the interest rate of 7.5%. The next topic is pharmaceutical industry in India. So as per the economic survey of 2022 to 23, India's domestic pharmaceutical market is going to touch $130 billion by 2030. So it is the largest provider of the generic medicines. India is the largest provider of generic medicines, and India is 1.72% of the country's GDP. India's pharmaceutical industry is 1.72% of country's GDP, and it is leading vaccine manufacturer, and it shares 5.92% of the global exports. The next topic is RBI's Monetary Policy Committee meeting. So here the important terms to learn is the repo rate and the core inflation. So repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends short-term funds to the banks. So if the RBI increases repo rate, then banks stop borrowing money and ultimately the money in the market decreases. Next important term is core inflation. So core inflation is the change of the cost of goods and services drastically. Okay. The next topic is investor protection. So Supreme Court asked the SEBI and the government to produce a regulatory framework to protect the Indian investors. Next topic is government securities, G6. So government securities are the tradable instruments issued by the central government or the state government. So it is a type of debt instrument to borrow money from the public. So there are two types of government securities. One is cash management bills, which are issued for the tenure period of less than 91 days, and the other is dated government securities. So these are issued for a tenure of period between 5 years to 40 years. The next topic is bank mergers. So merging two or more companies may increase economy, reduce manpower, fill business gaps, and can increase the market share. So if two or more companies come together or two or more banks come together, then it is called bank mergers. Then the next one is UPI Pay Now linkage. So UPI Pay Now linkage will enable people in other countries to send money through the QR code or by entering mobile number. So Singapore and India has launched the UPI Pay Now linkage. The next topic is Binami Act. So if a property of one person is kept in the name of other person in order to not to identify his details or to reduce the tax, then it is called Binami. Okay. So the Binami Act of 1988 was introduced to prohibit the Binami transactions, and it gave the government the right to recover the Binami property. The next topic is equalization levy. So equalization levy is also called as Google tax. So it is a direct tax introduced in 2016 to tax the digital economy. The next topic is draft, not this one. So rules notified for green bonds to avoid greenwashing. So greenwashing is the act of making a false or misleading statements about the environmental benefits of the product. So SEBI has notified the do's and don'ts of relating to this green bonds to avoid the greenwashing. The next topic is South India's first industrial corridor project. So National Industrial Corridor Program, that is NICP, aims to promote world-class manufacturing facilities and develop industrial areas, industrial cities in India. So under the Chennai-Bangalore Industrial Corridor, Krishnapatnam of Andhra Pradesh, Tumakuru and Ponneri of Tamil Nadu has been identified as the priority nodes. The next topic is group standards for millets. So millets are the small grain cereal food crops that are highly tolerant and require low chemical inputs. So to ensure good quality of millets in the domestic and global markets, FSSAI has framed some standards for 15 types of millets. Next topic is regulations by Securities and Exchange Board of India. So SEBI was established in 1992 as a statutory body under the Securities and Exchange Board of India Act of 1992. So its main aim is to protect the interests of the investors in the securities and promote development and regulate the securities market. So SEBI has took various decisions to regulate the environment of the secondary markets. Okay, so one important point to learn over here is the secondary markets. So what are the secondary markets? So these secondary markets is where the investors buy and sell the securities they already own. Okay, so SEBI has played a crucial role in promoting investor protection and ensuring their participation for the market development in India. And SEBI has also made new regulations to promote development on in the secondary market. Okay, so the next topic is um, direct benefit transfers. So direct benefit transfers means transferring the government benefits directly into the citizens Aadhaar linked bank accounts. So it reduces delay in the payments, it is accurate in targeting the beneficiaries, and it curbs the pilferage or duplication. And by implementing this direct benefit transfers, India has saved $27 billion. The next topic is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. So it is launched in 2015, and the main objective is the housing for all. So this mission addresses economically weaker sections, low income groups, middle income groups, and also the slum dwellers. So this scheme is implemented under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The next topic is Smart Cities Mission. So, the main objective of the Smart Cities Mission is to promote cities that provide core infrastructure, clean and sustainable environment, and gives a decent quality of life to their citizens through this smart solutions. The next topic is e-commerce promotion and regulation. So, buying or selling of goods or services including digital products in digital or electronic networks, that is called e-commerce. So e-commerce is defined under the Consumer Protection Act of 2019. So e-commerce lowers the cost of setting up a store, it gives access to new and multiple marketplaces across the globe, it acquires a new set of consumers, marketing is easy and cost effective, and easy delivery procedure is applied to this e-commerce. So the next topic is e-pharma sector. So it is a business for sale of drugs through the web portal or any other electronic mode as per this e-pharmacy rules of 2018. But there is absence of data security framework, selling of the scheduled drugs which should not be sold without the prescription. Even those drugs also are sold without a prescription. So, and selling of multiple critical drug deliveries. So these are some of the negative aspects of this e-pharma sector. So the Central Drug Standards Control Organization issued a notice to all the e-pharmacy companies highlighting the concerns on their operations. The next topic is primary agriculture credit societies. So a primary agriculture means where the raw materials are used directly from the nature, so it is related to the primary sector. So dairying, fisheries are some of the examples. So giving loans for them to improve the primary sector by forming cooperatives is the main aim of the country. So a plan for setting up to 2 lakh primary agricultural credit societies, dairy and farm fisheries cooperation in India is the major aim. So Cabinet is planning to set up around 2 lakh primary agriculture credit societies. The next topic is prices of tops. Tops here means tomatoes, onions, and potatoes. So these are the largest cultivated, produced, and consumed vegetables in India. So India is the second producer of all these vegetables, all the three vegetables. So the Kharif onion crop prices have seen a sharp decline due to the surplus production. So government has also launched some initiatives for stability in prices of tops. They are Operation Greens, Gramin Agricultural Markets, Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, Agricultural Marketing Infrastructure for rural go downs, and Price Stability Fund. So here are the key conditions for the growth of tomatoes, onions, and potatoes. So they are, so for tomato the temperature is 21 to 24 degrees Celsius and bright sunshine is required, with 600 to 1500 mm of rainfall, and the season of its growth is May to June and November to December. And well drained loamy soil which is rich in organic matter of pH range of 6.5 to 7.5 is good soil for tomato growing. And the leading producers of tomato are Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. Coming to the onions, the temperature should be between 13 to 25 degrees Celsius. Rainfall should be between 650 to 750 mm, and the season is April to May and October to November. And deep friable loam and alluvial soils with pH range of 6 to 7 is required for growth of onion. Maharashtra, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh are the leading producers of onion. Coming to the potato, the ideal temperature should be around 20 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius. Rainfall should be 1200 to 2000 mm per annum, and in hill ranges the season for potato is January to February. In plains it is October to November. So any type of soil except saline and alkaline soils is good for the growth of tomatoes, and the pH level should be between 4.8 to 5.4. So Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh are the leading producers of potato. The next topic is interchange fee on UPI transactions. So, National Payment Corporation of India has introduced interchange fees on merchant UPI transactions done using the prepaid payment instruments. Okay, so the fees is being collected from April 1st, 2023. The next topic is Indian banking system. So, due to the failure of the Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank in US, questions have raised for the safety of the depositors' wealth. So RBI has also taken some initiatives to avoid bank failure situations in India, and it has classified SEBI, ICICI Bank and HDFC banks as the domestic systematically important banks based on the systematic importance scores. So by classifying this and by taking proper measures, it is planning to avoid the bank failure situations in India. The next topic is Mission Har Payment Digital. So it was launched by the RBI to encourage the digital payment in India. The next topic is Infrastructure Finance Company. So it is a financial institution that provides infrastructure loans to the companies. The next topic is Green Shoe Option. So before knowing about Green Shoe Option, we have to know about Initial Public Offering. So initial public offering or IPO is the selling of securities to the public in the primary market, and selling additional shares during initial, that is IPO, is called the green shoe option or over allotment option. The next topic is evergreening. So patent evergreening refers to the practice used by the pharmaceutical firms to extend patent life of the drug through minor changes without even increasing the therapeutic efficiency. So Johnson & Johnson TB drugs and Gleevec anti-cancer drugs are rejected on terms of evergreening. Next topic is City Financing Ranking 2022. Sorry, not this topic. The next one is green shipping. So Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has launched green tug transition program. So it will be powered by the green hybrid propulsion system and subsequently adopting non-fossil fuel solutions like methanol, ammonia and hydrogen. The next topic is smart power transmission system. So Ministry of Power started to modernize the Indian power transmission system. So it will make real-time monitoring, automated grid operations and will have resilience against the cyber attacks and natural disasters. The next topic is Basic Animal Husbandry Statistics 2022. So it is released by the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying. So as per the reports, the per capita availability of milk is 444 gram per day. Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh are the top milk producing states. Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal are the top meat producing states, and Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir and Gujarat are the top wool producing states. Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana are the top egg producing states as per this report. The next topic is CRISP. CRISP full form is Comprehensive Rubber Information System Platform. So CRISP is a mobile app launched by the Rubber Board to inform uh, growers about rubber cultivation and provide online solutions. The next topic is Competition Amendment Bill of 2022. So this act amended the Competition Act of 2002. So 2002 Competition Act has established the Competition Commission of India, that is CCI. So now as per this Competition Amendment Bill 2022, any transaction which exceeds 2000 crores transaction should require an approval from this CCI, that is Competition Commission of India, and settlement and commitments framework was introduced to solve the competition related problems.